Hey, everybody, welcome to Cafe Rise. Wow, it's good to be here. This is where we communicate what's going on in Infinity Rising, what we're building, how things are going, keep you guys, our community, up to date on everything around the game and the technology that we're building. So, exciting episode ahead today. We've got a update on the apartment builder, update on Rise rewards, a little bit on marketing, the Node Summit, kind of a quick recap, we've got some game content to discuss, and a special guest will be on as well today. And then, of course, questions and a leak. So let's just get going. Rob, what are you drinking today?
Well, I have in my Beetlejuice 2, I've got a nice cup of tea, Yorkshire tea. What are you drinking?
Yorkshire tea. All right. Cheers. Got a little citrus, hops, non-alcoholic. It's pretty tasty. All right. Okay. Let's kick it off. So the apartment builder, I've been getting some great reports. Well, first of all, let me just contextualize this for everyone. You know, we had great momentum, thought we were going to deliver this near the end of the year, but as things come together, critical systems, there's just so much in play for this one. This is a big hurdle. And we had to get a lot of the team involved in various different areas to really figure out how are we going to do this in a performant way. I think that was one of the main challenges. There's so many items in each apartment that have to get stored, and it has to be assigned its position and when the player comes in. So we had a lot of problems to solve. This hasn't been done in the way that we're doing it before, and so we had to come up with a very creative solution. And I think we've done that. I'm hearing great reports on the database work and how the process and how it's going to flow. We're now at a point where that's come together, and the builder itself and how it works is getting put into builds either today, or it was put in yesterday, I think. But then they made a few fixes. That's getting put in. So we now just need to start testing, and really a lot of testing is where we're at with that. So we're looking good for the next build, which will be the apartment build. Would you?
Yeah, that's big. We thought we were ready, but the performance wasn't there. It really needed more to cook, and actually it needed a complete look at the architecture as well. So we're actually bringing instead of loading from the cloud server, we're actually adding a layer of databases actually on the server themselves, a local one that will synchronize in. So it has been a major undertaking, but I mean the performance now is really good, and so that's where we're at. It is a major it's a major piece of development. It's very complex, but that also gives us time to update the interface. I've had a quick play with the builder a few weeks ago, and I know in the release that we've got waiting at the moment that there's been a lot more updates in there as well. So yeah, I mean the longer these things take to cook, the better the results really. Mm-hmm. But we could release it whenever, but yeah, like I say, it does look pretty good for the next release.
Yeah, and what's so exciting about this to me is you start off in this game, you build out your avatar, you completely customize with all the different sliders who you are in this world, and then next up you'll be customizing your living space and how you want to present yourself to the world, where you live and where you start your day in Infinity Rising. And then you get to do the same if you're a landholder with what it is and how you're going to participate in the economy. Whether you're a landholder or not, you still get to participate in the economy and in the game in so many different ways. We just empower the players to really present who they are in the world and how they're going to participate in the world. And I think it's just so exciting. I know you aren't feeling incredibly well today, so thanks for muting that. But
yeah, it's getting worse. It'll be fine. We'll be through it.
Yeah, way to hang in there. Yeah, we got a lot to do. So,
but in the meantime, while we while we're building on those apartments, so we're building in parallel. You know, the infrastructure's happening, the builder itself, the tools are happening. Um, I had a demo today of the new elevators. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, but I've been hearing and reading about them. So
Yeah, that definitely a future leak. It's like, why do we need elevators? Well, when you see them, that's why, because they're cool.
yeah, yeah,
And
awesome.
anything that's moving is actually quite difficult in a multiplayer game where it's all replicating and stuff. But yeah, and they can be really annoying, just like in real life. You can get in and somebody can press the top button, and then you can go and press all the others, and it will stop on every single one.
Oh
So
my
it's quite fun.
gosh, no. Yeah, that is one of the. Have you ever gotten on an elevator where a kid had done that?
A
You
kid,
get
well,
on
no,
and every floor is pressed and nobody's
I've
on there,
got
and you're
a
like, "What's happening?" Uh,
kid. Yeah,
you, you've probably done it.
that is usually me.
All right. Well, that's the apartment builder update. Exciting stuff there. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. And yeah, I'm looking forward to get the next build and test it out myself. So next up, we have the Rise rewards. So we've talked about this in a tokenomics paper that was published a while back, and Ben has since answered a lot of the questions on the tokenomics doc. If you haven't seen those, they were answered in line where a lot of you guys asked them in that channel that we created for that. But but basically, the rewards I'm talking about are for the player owned asset holders. So if you have player owned assets and you participate in certain activities in the game, I believe we're going to start with arrow trails to keep it simple. So you participate in arrow trails. You by doing certain things, and I'm not going to speak specifics, but let's just say you place really well on the leaderboard, that could earn you some degree of infinity token, which translates into the rise token that you'd be able to claim from your account. And so we're working through that process. Ben, you and I have done a decent amount of conversation and meeting around it. Ben's put together some templates to assign the rules. We've talked to the team, to Greg and Jeff, about how to translate that into central admin database, things like that. So we're moving forward with that, and I don't. It could potentially. This is not a definite, but it could potentially make the next build. So it just kind of depends on how things go with that conversation. We're trying to keep it super simple and just don't get too excited there. We're going to start with incredibly small rewards, and the reason for that is because we just want to dip our toe in the water, see what you guys, how you react, how how's it happening, how's it working, what's the feedback, and then we can gradually grow from there. Because what we don't want to do is have large rewards and a system that's jacked up and emotions are high and we've just got a bunch of conflict. So we're going to start nice and easy, but it is exciting because it's moving in that direction of um, you know having the players be able to participate with rewards that are based upon some of the player owned assets they hold. And I think it's pretty exciting. What about you?
Yeah, can I just go over some of that terminology you said again, because you were talking about tokens and all that kind of stuff, and I don't want
Absolutely,
people
yes,
to
please
get
do.
confused with anything.
Please.
So in the game, there's multiple forms of in-game currency. One of them is obviously you go and get credits within the game, and then you swap them in the banks, and you end up with IGC, as we call it, in-game currency. XP can also be seen as a form of in-game currency. In a way, it's held the same way. But what we're also talking about is, you mentioned infinity there. So infinity token is also an in-game currency, which is very similar to XP. So as you're earning XP, we will also have, it's just basically a total. We will also have an amount of infinity token, as you call it, or infinity XP. So they'll be running alongside each other. As you're earning XP, you'll probably be earning the same. And it will be that infinity total that you will then be able to swap for the cryptocurrency, which is Rise in the future. So even I made a bit of a hash out of that. But yeah,
No, you did fine.
we've only got one cryptocurrency, which is Rise. Everything else is in-game mechanics.
Yes. and this is a lot of what we've been working. There's been a lot of planning around all of this. How do we, do it in the right way?
Yeah.
Um, and keep it regulatorily compliant, and just all, how do we manage this complexity in a way that makes sense, ideally to the players, and we got to keep it fun. So I love it. It's
Yeah.
exciting. We're going to move forward with that. Can't wait to get it in your hands. And yeah,
We'll
uh,
explain that in the future. But it'll be something like, if you do an aero trails and you score 3,000 XP, then you'll probably score 3,000 infinity points as well. And if you're wearing like a POA jetpack, then maybe you'll get a 1.2 or 1.3 multiplier. So
mhm.
it'll be something like that, but we're not quite landed on how the maths and the formula works. But then eventually you'll have this big total of infinity points, which will then be able to press a button and say, yeah, let's swap that for the
Yeah,
rides.
it's going to be exciting. I'm so thrilled because we've had meetings on this. No
Mm.
joke. You, me, Ben, 2 years ago,
Yeah,
even. So it's just been a long time coming. A lot of planning and a lot of things just have to get in place, and things get reprioritized because there's only so much you can do. Obviously, we always wish we can do everything all at once, but yeah. So it's so exciting that we're actually here, and this could be a reality in potentially the next build. So that's what I'm hoping. We'll see. Not guaranteed. All right. Next up, we have. Well, let's talk a little bit about some marketing systems. We've been testing ads funnels to drive traffic to the form on our website, which is capturing information from people to choose who gets early access to the game, and that is the numbers. And we're using our trailer and some good ad copy. The numbers from that are astounding. Like, we're not even spending a lot on it, and we're really blown away by how well it's working. So ads wise and trailer wise, that's props to the trailer, I guess. And to marketing team, we're targeting in the right direction.
can we share
But
some of those numbers? Because I do know the number.
yeah, I know the number as well. So we've got 3,500 on the wait list. That's gone up. That's going well. And
Yeah,
then I forget the number on the number of forms that have been filled out. Um,
yeah.
but
I,
but
I
I
remember the pushback months ago when because Matt put in Discord, we've got 200 people here on the wish list. We need more support. So
No, it
that's
was a
really,
thousand at that time or something. But
yeah, really
Matt was
turned
trying
around
to
now.
egg the community on a little bit. But I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good. You guys did a phenomenal job of
Mm-hmm.
filling that up quick. However, then we've started testing ads directly to the wait list, and also ads to the form, and both sides are working really really well. So what that means is, as we choose to scale up those the budget for those ad campaigns, we can drive enough traffic to get the 50,000, the 200,000 wait lists that we want to have for the alpha launch. So we actually have real visibility to getting
Yeah.
to the numbers we want to get to.
Yeah, you
Um,
don't want to throw tons of money at the start while you just do the A/B testing, as they say. But yeah,
100%.
we're getting close to landing on that formula where we can open up the
Yeah,
purse
exactly.
strings.
You start off with ad spend small, you tweak, you refine, you test your target audience, you test your copy, you test your images. The split testing of those combined shows
Mhm.
you which ones you really want to push with greater budgets, and then you ramp up your budgets, and then you see how that's working with a ramped up budget. So, yeah, it's going to be good. I'm really pumped about this for marketing. Also, on marketing, this is a little leak, a little mini leak. We've got a new show coming out called Origin Point. We're not too far off from that.
We're retiring.
No. Cafe Rise continues on. Origin Point is going to be a little bit different angle. It's going to be meeting some of the team and the devs and things of that nature. But I can't announce the date on that. But it's pretty soon. I'd say within 2 weeks, you should see something like that. So that's going on, and part of the strategy behind that is we've got to have more of the devs and more behind the scenes happening. What's happening to build the game, and what that means is we'll have long form shows where we can break apart a lot of content, just like we can with Cafe Rise, and put that on TikTok and Twitch and different channels that in micro content that hopefully gets us even more traction towards those campaigns. The pre alpha page or the sign up form on the website to get early access and the wait list building. These are all the things that we're doing to try to really build up momentum towards the alpha launch. So
No, it'd
exciting.
be good. Like on the weeks where we kind of miss our episode, there'll always be content coming out, so that's good.
Yes, yes. I don't know the regularity of it, but yes, you're right. We're getting more content. Content, consistent content's the name of the game. And some people have asked about how often we're going to do Cafe Rise. The goal was originally weekly, and lately it's just become more and more like we just have with. Here's my take on this.
Well, we did a
Everything
Node
is,
Summit one week,
huh?
didn't we?
Yeah, yeah. We did the Node Summit. Um, we want to strive to do on a weekly, but I think it's going to be more like every other week, something like that. But we want to do it as often as we can. Let me
Mhm.
just say that, yeah, as often as we can. But we also have so much that we have to deliver on, and we want to deliver on this year. There is a lot, and so we want to deliver. It's really about how aggressively can we deliver, and how aggressively can we communicate what we're delivering, and the two of those kind of have to balance and kind of go back and forth a bit. And a lot of things have sped up because we've really gotten a lot of foundational planning has been laid, which enables us to start executing in a lot of areas. And it's probably speeding up quicker than we really anticipated, which is good. But yeah, there's a balance there. So, okay. That covers the marketing. I mean, actually, there's a lot more on marketing I could talk about, but maybe we can have Matt on a show in the future because there's a good amount of stuff happening. I think we should move to Node Summit. Um, we had the Node Summit.
Yep, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I thought it went really well. Um, Good feedback from everybody prior to the summit. The summit was more of just let's present,
Yep.
what the roadmap is and what we're going to do with nodes, and just really an effort to make that first step in more regular communication. The idea there is that we'll do one quarterly, and just as our measure of the responsibility we take to communicating with the people that are helping operate our infrastructure, delegate to our infrastructure, support the infrastructure that's helping onboard new users to the game. That's an important element, and we have a responsibility. We want to communicate with you guys, and we also listen. So there's some feedback that we've gotten from quite a few that is being taken and being implemented. So that's a good thing as well. I don't know what else you would add.
Yeah, I mean, the main takes out of that. I mean, I see this project as you know a number of different pillars. One of them being obviously the main game, and the other is the nodes, how we deliver the game, and what Greg shared in there was the roadmap of the current file nodes, some of the updates that we're going to do to improve those in the future, because we know they're not ideal, but we are building up to more and more volume, and also there's some, I suppose some of the key takeouts is to run a public node. We lowered that from having to own 8 nodes to 6 nodes now. So 6 nodes will get you the ability to run your own public node, which means you can get delegates and you can get extra rewards off their delegations. We also announced that we're developing server nodes. Whether they will come out or not, I mean, we're hoping they are. So that will be another type of node, but that's not for everyone. These if you prove yourself as you can host the file nodes, you'll then be able to ascend into doing the server nodes should you wish to. And I suppose another keynote for those that are not interested in nodes, we also announced that custom domes, that those will work on nodes as well. So the idea of creating the server nodes is that the node itself will actually be run on the community infrastructure, the public node infrastructure. So server node operators will be able to rent out their space, the custom dome owners, which in itself is a leak to say, we are starting work on custom domes,
Yep.
which uh, which is was tremendous, really. And I think Greg is about to share that that roadmap in Discord. But we've also shared the video, so it's in there as well. So if you want to check that out, it only lasts about an hour. I thought it was quite a good summit.
It was, and more to come. So, yeah, we're thankful to everybody that's participated in the Node network and what we're doing there. And it's challenging. There was a lot of complexity, and it's not easy to make everyone happy on very limited resources. And
Mm-hmm.
but I think we have done incredibly well. We have a great product, and it's early stage, and we just get to keep iterating and iterating. We definitely are needing more operators as well, and so we're moving to that phase where um, prepping for the mainstream launch and all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, we're in great shape, so I'm excited about it. Next up is the game content. So the questing system has come out. People are playing around with that, which is a lot of fun. And there's tweaks being made to that. But why don't you lead this section, Rob? I know there's a good amount of stuff we want to talk
Yeah,
about.
well, I mean, we've had some feedback, obviously, from the quest. The quests at the moment are very linear. So what we've done is we're experimenting with breaking them up to have some of them more discoverable. One or two of them may flow into each other. Whether that will make the next release or not, I don't know. It's just been released internally, so we'll have to see if that kind of works. We don't really want to go and chop up some of the audio if putting it all back together takes too long. Um, but I think I think it works quite well where you just go to an area and you kind of see a marker and rather than be led. So that's coming. We're also adding another aero trails zone into the pavilion. So that's been built. That's a nice starter course, and again that kind of leads into the quests where that whole area is almost like an onboarding area. So rather than before you adventure into Solace, you can get a good taste of it, because I think the aero trails that's in the cities is quite difficult, whereas the one in the glimpse of Esperanza, that's quite easy because that's just goes around in a circle. We're experimenting with quest chains as well. So what quest chains are is you start off, say you go through 10 trails, and that makes you a rookie, and then that automatically goes to stage 2 of that quest, and stage 3, stage 4, fly through more. And the idea of this is eventually we'll be upgrading the players' profiles, so the player will then be able to start customizing it a little bit more, maybe with an icon, maybe with banners, with certain titles that you'll be able to pick and choose, and you'll be able to gain those by doing quests, and it's another form of reward. So all that's in the planning. Hopefully that will come in a few months from now. But that makes it really interesting, where you can go and get different tags for your character and player. And Hot Zones has had a is in version 2 now. That's completely different gameplay. Jetpacks are now working, and we have these different gates where you've got to go and claim them to get from one side to the other. So that's going through test. Hopefully, if that gets through, then people will be playing with that, and hopefully that'll have a new lease of life. And finally, we're working on a dedicated PvP arena. I mean, I know we already have one, but this one will be, you have a red team versus a blue team. You will have a flag. You will have to go and capture that flag, not get shot, take it back to your base a couple of times with scoreboards, leaderboards, and all that good stuff. So I don't
Yeah.
know if that will make the next build, but it's well underway.
Gosh. Well, yeah. No, it is well under the way, and I'm that's one of my favorite games, so I'm excited about it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Is there going to be jetpacks?
Yes,
Great.
you need the jetpacks because somebody will be firing
Yeah.
rockets at
Yeah.
you and the meat
Yeah.
grinder.
This is going to be, that's a lot of fun. I'm excited about where it's going, about when we can get it. Um, I know that I know that with all of these things coming to fruition, and with the amount of time once we have a build that we go into testing and we're trying to target releasing the build, with all of these things, we then have all of this debugging that we have to do in this
Yeah,
process, this back and forth. And so that's why Rob can't say it's going to be in the next build, but it's really pretty darn ready for the most part. There's not a ton left for it, but it does come down to how much debugging. Most likely, I'm going to guess it's not in the next build unless like everything goes incredibly well with the apartment debugging stuff, because
yeah.
we really want to get that in it with it.
I think what we have, I think we have a unique game because well, when you look at Rumble Ball and Hot Zones and the PvP arena that's coming up, what you have is you go into these worlds with very few loading screens, and you can go in and play these games and then go out and go into another experience again, all seamless. No loading screens when you're playing Rumble Ball. You can come out of Rumble Ball, then you can go and do an aero trail, and then you can fly over. There's a slight loading screen when you go to the pavilion, but when you're in the pavilion you can do all those games. And this will be the same. This PvP arena, this will be just part. You'll just stumble across it and it'll just be in there. And
Yeah,
I think that makes it unique. It's a loop within a loop. Obviously, we've got rift battles coming as well. You know, those are different type of gameplay, and we'll all have different kind of creatures as well. But you know, those that don't want to get involved with that kind of heavy stuff can maybe go and do one of the other experiences, like you say, building your apartment, or if you do like the shooting element, you can go to rift battles with people, or you can go to the PvP arena, or even if that's too much and you just want to chill out and practice, you can just go to one of the shooting zones and just shoot the targets that come up and down.
yeah. So much coming to fruition. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really exciting. There's a lot. There's a lot. So I yeah, hopefully we can get that into the next release. We'll see. It all depends upon how that release is going, the debugging and all of the stuff
Yeah.
associated with it, because we don't like those to drag too long.
Mhm.
So okay, I think that covers it. Now we can get to, or did you have anything else on game content? I think that was it.
Only the leak.
Yeah. So the leak, questions in the leak, but we also have a special guest. So I say we push questions of the leak to after the special guest, and let's go ahead and bring them up. Okay. Well, hey, welcome to Cafe Rise, Patrick. First time on the show. How are you?
I'm doing great this morning. How about you?
Doing good. Doing good. It's a good day, man. Always building. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and it's great to have you on, man. It's been a while that we've been chatting with you. We've known you for a long time through a variety of angles, guilds, etc. But like, tell us who you are and what do you do with Anvil, and give us a little background.
Sure. So, yes, it's been a little while and happy to finally be here, chatting with you guys on cam for this and talking just kind of about what we're building, what we're going to be doing next year. So, grateful for the opportunity today. I'm PB, one of the co-founders of Anvil. So Anvil Development Agency, we've been around in the blockchain space, kind of emphasis on Cardano the past 4 years or so, working on building out our tooling. We've worked on several hundred projects in the Cardano space. We've built out everything from minting tools to staking tools. Our whole goal is really to make blockchain easy and accessible for enterprise level clients. Make it something that's fun to work with, easy to integrate, and doesn't require a whole bunch of computer science degrees to go out and be able to implement a really cool system that works using Cardano into your enterprise installation. So I've been doing this for a bit. Like I said, I'm the one of the co-founders over here. My role is that of wearing many hats within the organization. So not a developer myself per se. Love to vibe code things and play around with our tech that we've built. But I kind of keep the wheels on the tracks, work with partnerships like this, work on building out our business, and work on building the future of what Anvil looks like, what our tooling looks like, and what ultimately blockchain gaming and lots of other things look like. So
I love it, man. Well,
yeah.
you said a couple hundred projects. That's huge. You guys have made a big wave in the space, and you're obviously doing important work for the Cardano ecosystem, which is great. before I get too serious, I forgot a question, which is, what are you drinking today, sir?
Well, I've got two in front of me, and I'll pull up my smoothie here. I have a beet and carrot smoothie this morning, my breakfast of choice. So beet, carrot, dates, a little yogurt, stuff like that. Some nuts keeps me going. So
Wow,
beet and carrot smoothie.
that's delicious, nutritious. Wow, first smoothie on the show, I
There's a
believe.
random container as well.
Yeah, that's one of my mason jars that was an appropriate size.
Well,
Put
cheers,
flowers in it when
cheers.
you finish
Good to
it.
have you on the show.
Cheers! Thanks so
I've got a
much.
little non-alcoholic hop beverage.
I've swapped to water.
Rob swapped to water. He had another drink earlier. So good to see you. And good to get this going, man. And your background, what you guys have done with Anvil has been huge in the community. We've known about you for a long time, known you for a while. But now we've finally taken some steps with you guys over the past few months. And it's probably, I don't know if you guys started losing your patience or not, but it's been a long conversation where we tried to figure out how are we going to work with each other, because we knew we wanted to. I know initially Rob had said, "Hey, let's chat with Patrick and Anvil," and we got a conversation going. And I mean, the rest is this history. Now we're off running with a partnership. So this is a big leak in this episode that we are, huh?
It's an announcement more than
Yeah, it's an announcement, and that we are partnering with Anvil to do some cool stuff for Web3 gaming. So, out of curiosity, why Patrick? Why partner with Infinity Rising?
Well, a lot of reasons that just make this, I think, a partnership that we've been looking forward to for a long time, where our team is built on doing things different and doing things in a way that we see as an appropriate way of doing things. And we see that there's builders in the space who are building out tooling and building out products that we've been watching for a long time, like Infinity Rising, one of those that we've kind of looked on with admiration and always said, we'll wait for our time. We'll get there at some point. We'll be able to work together. But it's looking at kind of, lost my train of thought there, but kind of looking on at what you guys are doing and saying, we're going to be there at some point and helping out with these and what they're building and inserting our product into that. So I blanked on the question a little bit there as I.
Oh, you're good. You're good. It was just why partner with us, and you answered it well.
Yeah. But also, I think we've got really amazing tooling to help with what Infinity Rising is building. So we've built all of our tools with kind of forward looking so that they're easy to use and easy to implement in kind of non-standard implementations like this. So a lot of tooling in the space is built application specific or use case specific. And what we've focused on at Anvil is making a product that can work anywhere, specifically in games like this. So as a group of gamers ourselves and people who have always been kind of abreast to the Infinity Rising happenings and what's going on, always watched it. How could we insert our product into that? How can we build tools that work in an ecosystem like this? So I think it's from our side, we've thought about this for a long time, thought about how do we build to this type of scenario, because that's the future that we see. And that's what the type of gaming that we want to have. So,
well, and from our side, to just reciprocate why, and also for our community, why do we want to partner with Anvil? And, the reason in my mind is we have so much. Well, number one, you guys are experts and on the cutting edge of anything and everything associated with how to build on Cardano. So your experience there is, it really, really counts, right? And granted, we have experience there with our small team, but the amount of tech that we need and the things that we have to accomplish is so large that doing it all ourselves just doesn't make sense. It pulls too much resource from the game and all sorts of things. And so it's like, how do we come up with a partnership? How do we do something where it helps us to scale our infrastructure and the value that we offer to our community and to our gamers, while also not breaking the bank and possibly creating something that we can monetize in the future, which I'm incredibly excited about with you guys. I mean, some of the stuff that we can work on can be used by other projects in a way that we can monetize it together too. So that was what excited me the most. Rob, I don't know if you would add anything to that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of Anvil for years now. We would have contacted you you guys earlier, but you were busy, and I know that you and your other founder, Cash, um, are also part of one of our guilds, and you actually have a number of prominent of a collection of our POAs. But we don't
Yeah,
need to go into that.
we've been
But you can
participating
do
for
if
a
you want.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's good. And you know what? I guess the final thing that I would say that is the most um, important to me for a partnership of this magnitude, where we're going to be, tied together working on infrastructure back and forth. It's a cultural fit. So hanging out with you guys, talking to you guys, you're already fit into our community. Um, we know that, like, I get the feeling, at least, that we'll get along just fine. That we can all own our stuff, work through whatever, and have a fruitful partnership that we enjoy. I mean, it's gaming after all that we're going after, so we better have fun doing it.
And anyone can make it through the good times. Anyone can make it through when everything's great. I think that a measure of one's character, a company's characters, how do you act and behave and perform during times that are difficult. And
Yeah,
that's where it's not always been a easy, but I think that when you find a group that's been through it, a similar thing, you have that instant camaraderie. You have an understanding as to, like, we've been through it, we're here, we're still here, and we know what it takes to put in the work to keep going.
yeah,
So I think that there's a good kind of level setting that occurs in conversations right at the beginning, where you're dealing with a group, or you're working with a new partnership or client like that, and it's like, this feels good because they've been through it too. We can work this. We can make this work.
And you've got quite a big team as well.
Yeah, we're at 8 full time now, with a couple kind of part time that help out from.
Mm.
We've got some like design and whatnot that's not quite full time yet, but we're hoping to make that full time. But yeah, our team is really built around creating big products that make an impact on the ecosystem, that are at the infrastructure level. So we've got a lot of different kinds of minds on the teams too, that help us solve different types of problems for folks. So it's we get to use all of those different talents on a regular basis when we get to solve problems like we will be for Infinity Rising. Just really exciting.
yeah, yeah. It's good stuff. Well, okay. So you mentioned the tough times. That's a little bit of where the market is right now for a lot of us that are in crypto. And it's also kind of related to this question, which is, why is your conviction so high? The market's struggling. Web3 gaming is also struggling. It's almost dead. If you look at what the sentiment is on the Web3 side of things, why do you believe?
If I was doing this for the market, I would have quit a long time ago. And I think that several on our team kind of share that same sentiment, where it's the market's amazing. And when the good times are there, like I was just saying, the good times are great. And that's awesome. Everyone's together, and the camaraderie, and oh yeah, we're all doing great. Everybody, we're all going to make it. The memes are flowing. Everything's good.
Mm,
But, I think that when you look at like why some of us got into this, we saw just a different path for what can be. And that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's going to be immediately. It means that someone's got to get in there and make that happen. And I think that, if you can envision a different path and see a different way of accomplishing a goal or a similar objective, or let's solve something better that doesn't hurt people, or something that is more powerful, it's an improvement on something. Well, you're going to chase that. You're going to continue to push forward with that mission and that objective, regardless of conditions, regardless of market. I'd say that, the big thing is that we believe in what we can build, and we see what is possible.
mhm.
And that's enough. That conviction is enough to understand that, like, it's not necessarily about the money up front. It's about creating something that people want to use, that's exciting to use, that does something in a different way, but ultimately that really begins to benefit people. It's not my objective to go convince people to use Web3 gaming. It would be my objective to build tools that benefit people without them knowing they're getting the benefit. So that's when it starts to become something special, and that's a future that I see.
Yeah, yeah. I like it. Great answer. And that's a great reason to believe and push forward. There's greater things than just the market and what it does. There's no doubt about it. And my personal reasons for being involved in the crypto space in the first place have much greater reasons than money or what the market does. And I think it's powerful technology for the good of humanity. Um, right now, it doesn't feel that way to a lot, but it still is. And okay, well, Well, good answer there. Rob, feel free to chime in with any questions you may have. But so, what are we doing together? Let's talk a little bit about the secondary marketplace and how you guys are. How's that moving along?
Oh, couldn't be more excited on that one. We've got some great progress there. So, one of the things we'll be doing together would be integrating marketplace functionality to the game. So there's a couple different avenues that we'll approach that from, and it won't be all at once. But yeah, I think that the Anvil technology is there to integrate seamlessly. So Anvil built Way Up, which is our marketplace on Cardano. And we always intended that Way Up was kind of a storefront that was easily modularized, productized into API endpoints. So our main product at Anvil, our API, has endpoints that allow companies' clients to access the things we've built easily. And one of those that we've just finished implementing would be our marketplace endpoints that now allow WayUp's functionality to be integrated into any game, website, etc., and branded in that game way. So it's going to be a, not like a WayUp type environment. It's a Infinity Rising branded experience that's seamless in the game, that's all built around these endpoints. So I'm pretty excited about that, as it opens up the doors to be able to buy, sell, trade assets, properties, etc. in the game itself. You don't have to leave that environment to potentially go find your favorite new property, buy that property, build on it, etc. So opening that up alone, I think, is pretty huge. That's just one of the many things we're working on, but that's a really, really exciting one that's from Anvil's side in PR right now to deliver those endpoints over to Infinity Rising. So as soon as those are done through PR, which I was told Monday at the latest, we'll have documentation behind those, and we can start to work on actually implementing that stuff.
Well, Monday doesn't mean that we will have it available to you guys, our community, yet. However, that means that we get to start on our side of things, which is amazing, because, I think our first intended, and I have to chat with the team and make sure we're all agreed on this, but the first intended use of the secondary marketplace together is for us to offer that for the landholders, through the land app that many of you that have participated in the land grab are well aware of. And so I believe that's our first intended use, but there's other ways that we can obviously move forward with that secondary marketplace as well, which is just buying and selling of any of the player owned assets that we have. And so it's just how we decide to scale out that tech with you guys. But that is incredibly exciting. I think people will be really pumped to hear about this. And so I love it. But there's tons that we can do together. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the wallet. We've gone back and forth about the wallet you guys are building, and we've decided that we will jointly kind of iterate on that. And the future there is still unknown, but we're jointly iterating together on that, and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, there's a lot that we can do together. We've talked about NFT minting in game. Or POA minting in game. That's one of those things where I told you I'm not sure. We're still looking into how that would affect things on the Steam platform. So we have to be cautious about how we do things there. But there's a lot that we can do. So I don't know if there's anything else we want to cover together. But the main thing here is that we know that a good amount of Web3 infrastructure is needed. Web3 gaming infrastructure is needed. And for me, I think this is an important thing to bring forward to the Cardano community to help facilitate a movement towards supporting more games in the Cardano community. Not just Cardano, but other chains as well. We'll take that multi-chain direction with you guys when the time is right. But that's kind of what I'm most excited about, is how do we create some energy in this ecosystem around gaming, and I think we can do it.
I'm really excited to build tools that people are excited to use, because that's where we always get really fired up, is when we have something that people are really stoked to go out and play with and use. And I think that this is one of those opportunities where we can really surprise and delight here, where we'll create something unexpected, and that's a use, even just a simple user flow that historically has felt cumbersome or bottlenecked by a blockchain signature or something like that, where we have some pretty cool capabilities of making it feel seamless and magic. And I'd say on the Anvil side, it's really our goal with this to make it feel like a addition and a elegant part of the experience, as opposed to being some sort of bolt-on. And that's what'll make this special for everyone. That's what'll make it
Yeah,
usable.
I think what happens is, we've built our team up over the years, and we go, oh, you can do that and you can do that, and we eventually make people do everything, and then they have more work than they can do in the next 10 years, if I'm honest. So it's great to have another team that can just concentrate on maybe just 40 or 50 different features for us, so which frees up our team from doing that, and then they can work on others. So for me, I mean, it's super exciting, and I know that you guys are also interested in midnight as well. So what we can do with privacy in the future, and your experience with smart contracts, and everything on there. So and your experience with the guilds, which will help us to build some tools in that area as well, for both guilds. Well, I say both, for all guilds, not both. We have two large ones, and others massively growing, and yeah, the marketplace. I mean, it's such. I think what Michael's done with our website at the moment is absolutely amazing, the way everything's been integrated. So, you've got some high standards to follow on from. And I'm pretty sure that we've picked the right team that, can add to what we already have.
And I'm really hoping that Michael will want to be involved
Mm-hmm.
in spearheading this initiative. But we'll see. We'll see how
Yeah.
that goes. Um,
I think
but
that's
yeah,
it. That's it. We've got some of the areas within the company where we have one or two people that work on them on their own, and then they drag in other members, and then other members then have to put their work aside. So it's great to have a full team that you can then call on some of your other resources should we need them, to build these things, and have lots of minds thinking over the project, rather than one person just thinking and then asking for other people's opinions, and they're not quite up to speed. And yeah, so there's huge benefits of having a large team like yours joining us.
yeah, agreed. I'm excited for the future with you guys, and this first step is a great one, the secondary marketplace. So very very cool. Well, Patrick, anything you have for us? Any questions, or should we just wrap it up here?
No, this is, I'd say from our side, from the whole Anvil team, we're excited for the opportunity and, grateful for the opportunity to build this out with you all. It's something that we've been looking forward to for a while, for not only just because we're passionate about it, but just we see an opportunity to build something really cool. I think the community will like it. I'm really excited to make these announcements to everybody and to get this word out there, to really show I think this will showcase what we can build here as well. So couldn't be more stoked on all of this. And thank you for the time today and bringing me on here. We're ready to do some really amazing work on all of this.
Awesome, man. It's great to have you on the show, and we'll have you back at some point
I'm
to
free. I'm
talk follow.
available.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks, Patrick. Have a good rest of your day, man.
Thanks, guys. See
Thank
ya.
you.
Okay, well, it was really good to have them on. An exciting partnership that we get to do a lot moving forward. And to me, what's the most unique or what's exciting about it is the cultural fit. Like the team and our team, their team, our team, we get along really well. It's a fit. It makes a lot of sense. It's a great alignment, and it allows us to produce a lot more and provide a lot more to you guys, our community, while also utilizing something for the greater community of gaming in a way that helps us to monetize in the future. So very, very cool. So first question, we've got this one from Dread Epsilon of the Mafia, who's also in the Old Guard. Given the winter storm in the USA and what happened in Russia, can we still expect weather systems in Cornucopias? The lore does allow for there to be no weather giving the domes, so wind, snow.
Yeah, we've answered this a few times, but it is interesting where it says the Lord does allow for there to be no weather. It's true that the domes are controlled, very much like Truman Show, or even Hunger Games. But if you remember in Hunger Games, even though those were controlled domes, they definitely were pumping out all kinds of mechanics in there. I remember the poisonous fog and all kinds of weather that was in there. So we're very similar. We will we will have we do have the ability to change the weather within them, and some of the biomes will be weather specific. So we look at Esperanza, which is coming up. That's really hot, dry, and humid. The player will react to that. You'll be drinking more. In the future, no doubt we will have snowy mountains, maybe in Fortune. I don't know, but definitely in some of them. And also because we do have that power, and they are controlled. The law says they are controlled by the creators, by the people that are running the domes. Maybe some people will be nefarious and mess around with those controls. So that would be a bit crazy. But all that will not be happening in the next 30 days, but it will be happening in the future.
Good stuff.
And we also have external influence as well, don't we? Because we have the rifts, and the rifts are somehow finding themselves not only in the domes, but they are bringing creatures through. So once these portals are actually open, who knows what else could come through and affect the stability of the domes. It reminds me actually of something that we were going to do, may do in the future, which is the Lost Dome. But I will leave that there.
Okay, next question. This is also from Dread Epsilon of the Mafia. Are the names of the Esperanza towns ready?
Ooh. I've not heard anything. Have you heard anything?
No, they're not ready. And you know what? I'm not going to say that we're going to include every idea, but if you guys want to send us some town name ideas in the comments of this YouTube episode, please do, and we might include them. So I think it'd be fun to get some community participation on town names. So please add your comments to the video, and we might include your ideas. All right.
I'm going to submit Fox Hollow the Second.
Of course you are. All right. Speaking of Fox Hollow the Second, we have a leak. Are you ready to show the leak?
I am. Yep.
Okay, let's do it.
Dun, dun, dun. Play.
Oh, what do you know? It's a fox.
It is indeed. So what we're showing here is creatures are coming. We're putting some of the locomotions in. That was the walking motion.
I'm sorry, but that walking motion, that fox has a little bit of swagger. Are you able to go back, or is this a video you're playing?
Yeah. We'll play it again immediately afterwards.
Okay.
Then we have the running motion, and then finally we have the idle. When it's not doing anything, and we'll probably split this into a couple.
Frisky little fella.
The head moving.
Okay.
The tail swaying, and the jump. My dog actually does this movement where it just jumps up in. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, and this is obviously that wasn't the final fox. So you're seeing a complete, work in progress. So
look at that swagger, though. Come on. He's got a little cowboy swagger going on.
And Jillian's put all this together. She's done a really good job. I've seen this evolve over the last few weeks.
Looks really great. Yeah, it's exciting. Okay, very good.
And I've been told that during testing, I don't know what I should say or not, but during testing, we will have the ability to control this fox. So who knows what kind of gameplay that will open up.
Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. All righty. Well, that's our leak for this episode. We had a little micro leak as well, but yeah, very exciting stuff coming up. So we'll see you on the next episode of Cafe Rise. And thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those fun things. Help us get the word out about what we're doing. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Welcome. You're here early, that's good. Means there's something special about you. We got a whole lot going wrong around here. You better train up. We got terrors knocking on our infrastructure. and some mighty strange occurrences going on. I'm afraid our world is at risk. Without people like you, cornucopias might fall into darkness. Better get smart, get trained, and be ready. The storm is coming. I can feel it. I'd like to say we've been through worse, but this time I'm not so sure. Good luck out there. You're going to need every bit you can get.
Children of the multiverse, you have crossed the veil through the gate to stand with us in Cornucopias. You have my appreciation. I am but a messenger, a guide sent to show you the path that must be walked. But know this, the rifts are only the beginning. What you have seen is but a shadow of what is yet to come. The path ahead is dark, and the cost will be great. For the dangers you face are not born of this world alone, but from beyond it. Some of you will fight the tide, others will build and restore, some will weave knowledge, while others will sustain through trade and creation. Strength, will, and unity, these are the bonds that will endure when all else is broken. Rise now, stand against the tide, for infinity does not end, it begins. Infinity is rising.